Now, one of the reasons Caesar's very good is because of the groove charge time. Notice if I wasn't player 1, Caesar would be another 7% ahead of me right now at 40%. Caesar's groove is way faster than Ragna's at medium groove. That's not way faster, but it's faster enough. Caesar will get groove first, even despite being player 2. And that means that this trebuchet will be able to move and then attack me before I can jump at it, which is scary. Now, my positioning made Caesar back off. He wants to wait for that treb, and he's afraid of the golem. He's not going to do anything until the treb gets there. And notice the treb is right outside the range of my units. Now, I need fast-moving things that can threaten that treb. Pikes are too slow to threaten a trebuchet. It's just a simple truth of the universe. So I'm going to... Ooh, this is really risky, because if I move in, he could really threaten that square. Yeah, I don't want to move in. I like my current position. I like my spot. I'd only move in with Ragna, because the treb can't hit me yet, and I can only get hit from 2 sides. The healing would kind of suck, but I do have an alchemist. I'm not ready for that yet, though. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of shuffle because I want Ragna or somebody on some more positioned territory. Move everybody up, move this back. Let's see. I think what we're going to do is we need some more fast-moving units. So I'm going to make a sword because it is a little bit fast. And one more pike. And we're going to wagon the pike over, move him down a little bit. Alright, that looks pretty good. He's definitely not threatening me, and I don't really want to threaten him until the golem gets here. So we're kind of agreed not to fight until our powerful units get to the field. And if we did fight, I'd win. I have more pikes than they do. Look at this. They have 4 pikes against my 8 pikes because they built so many wagons. And like I said, having 3 wagons has some power, but not if you're using them all for transportation. I'll have more pikes. So this treb is really the only threat to me right now, as long as I use clever positioning. If he goes in on Ragna, Caesar will die to my pikes. And if the golem gets closer, forget about it. Golem and alchemist and pikes, yeah, Caesar cannot stand near this. But Ragna has to be careful of the trebuchet. My whole army has to be careful of the trebuchet. What I really want to do is move in on this village before the trebuchet gets there, which is impossible, or somehow threaten off the trebuchet and then move in on the village. I need to force him off that village. Because if I can force him off that village, then I kind of have a little bit of a gold advantage, which is huge on this map. There's really no other way to get it. I mean, I could start sending troops up through here, like an alchemist or something. Could be very scary through here. But all those wagons, they could pretty quickly reposition their army. They could build like a flyer and terrorize it. And I'd lose units to the front as long as I'm doing that, because it takes a really long time to walk all the way over here, you know? And air units can't go through this. It's like there's just not enough gold to create that second front right now. Some players do. I know some players do it, and it forces your opponent to respond to it. Alright. Now, let's talk about some of the weaknesses of this strategy. I have too many pikes. I need more swords, because I can't kill this sword and get to the treb, and because of that, the treb is forcing me to back off. If the treb goes one more space forward, the treb can hit my village, and at that point, you remember what happened last time. I lose out on gold. 100 gold every turn, eventually I lose the game. I can't go in on them either, because I can't hit enough of them to do any real damage. However, the great and mighty golem has arrived. The hero. So, Golem the Great will use its wonderful powers to stop the treb from ideally coming any closer. However, the treb is at the point where it can frighten off some of my units. So I either have to move in even closer, daring them to attack me, or back the heck off. Those are my options. Right now, I'll choose to back the heck off. I'm just going to stay out of their range, dancing out of their range a little bit. I still have this great big pike wall defending me. They can't go in on me. And I'm going to start to move the pikes around like this. That should scare them a little bit, because if this whole conglomerate, here, yeah, that underbrush is throwing me. Put it here. If this whole thing gets too close, I could just rush their HQ. And that is not something anybody wants. Nobody wants their HQ rushed. Okay, so let's discuss what we're going to do. If I build a balloon, I can not only use it as a transport, but I can move pikes over here, which threatens victory. Threatening victory is really powerful and will force my opponent to respond with something other than the trebuchet. But I could also build a flyer and just bring it down to attack. It's just the alchemist zones it out too well. So we will make a balloon, and we will make a pike to put in that balloon, or it can just kind of walk. It's about the same. And I want another sword for that ranged attack. No, you know what? I want something faster than a sword. I want a dog. Nah, I want a sword. This is a pretty low-income map. Alright, cool. So we're really getting zoned out hard by this trebuchet. Even though it doesn't counter the golem, if it hits that village and I can't stop it, it might as well counter the golem. And even though these wagons can't attack me, if my opponent is smart and uses them as blockades on the turn they go in, they could do some damage to me and I won't be able to fight back very effectively. You see, there it is. Right there. And they made sure to put it in a space that my golem cannot hit. You see that? My golem can't get there. And I can't really go in on Caesar either. So I either have to commit to a full frontal assault and get destroyed by this trebuchet, or alternatively, I have to allow the trebuchet to attack me and back off. Try to bait my opponent into pushing further. It's not great. It's not great. Additionally, I made this balloon instead of my own trebuchet. What am I doing? My opponent made a knight, means they think they're close to the end game. They wanted a really fast unit that could just get itself down here and be very aggressive, take villages. And I must admit, I don't know what I can do against this Caesar Treb. Ragna's very strong when you fight her, when she can build a groove, but I haven't gotten to do that at all. Why did you put a wagon there? The knight's not going in the wagon. I don't get it. This isn't going in the... Was that a misclick? Alright, I'm not sure what that was. Now this balloon is not going to make it to the front lines in time. And I have nothing, absolutely nothing that is threatening that space. The thing is, this is where wagons, a lot of wagons could come in handy, because I could just use the wagons as body blocks and charge my troops forward anyway. Alright, I want to threaten Caesar and or that Treb. That Treb is in such a good position with so many units that can move forward and attack me and protect it. I either have to attack right now or back off and lose the village, which will cost me 100 gold every turn. I don't know what the right move to do is in this situation. So what I'm going to do is I choose to attack. I'm going to move my troops forward, but not all the way, just enough. And yeah, this is the part that's a little tricky, because I need to make sure Ragna does not die wherever I put her. So I can't be in the edge of that. I can be hit by Caesar and the pike line, that's okay, because they won't be able to break my pike line if I position it like this. And just outside the range of most of their stuff. Alright, you're going into the wagon. That settles it. And then we're gonna do the wagon body block here, because it's really hard to kill the wagon, and he's going to have to dedicate a lot of troops to do it. Now we have a more solid wall. Alchemist down here. Okay. Basically, I've gone in, I've committed to the attack. This could end terribly for me, I could lose the game right here. But I am effectively agreeing and committing to that fact. Build my own knight, because it's very fast, and I'm going to make a sword, yeah, sword here. It can jump into that balloon with this and then keep traveling over.
So pay careful attention to the line we set up. It's impossible to kill those pikes on the bottom because you can only attack them from one side. You can't kill Ragna either. The wagon might be able to fall, but doing so will waste a lot of attacks, put units into vulnerable positions. Only a few of my pikes can be attacked. This is called a proper wall. My most vulnerable units, the alchemists and the swords, are far in the back. The golem is out of the range of the trebuchet. If Caesar doesn't engage me, my troops can push forward. If Caesar does engage me, there's a limit to what they can actually hurt and kill, and my counterattack will be very strong. That's the power of the wall, the power of the formation. Alright, in the next video, this formation is going to clash into Caesar's, units are going to fall, it's going to be crazy. Let's find out what happens and who wins.